Hey y'all.
You know what I was really hoping for his rap
I
video.
don't know why we are talking about this. Well, I do know. Okay. Let's talk about this new deal that Donald Trump helped broker between Israel and the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. This is why he's been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize by, let's be clear here, a far right uh, politician, I believe, in Norway. By the way, the nominations, like the nomination process has ended. Like at this point, you can't nominate someone where they won't be eligible. At least I believe that ended in at the end of February. But now it's started the debate. Does Donald Trump deserve the Peace Prize over this deal? Let me say, as someone who despises Donald Trump, this is easily his greatest accomplishment. Like, right? Easily. So what Trump did was arranged or helped to arrange a deal between Israel and the United Arab Emirates in exchange for Israel not annexing the West Bank of Palestine. That was the deal. That Israel would now get a new ally in the Middle East in the form of the Emirates in exchange for not not annexing the West Bank like Netanyahu had promised. So, hey, any chance to block the um, far right militaristic tactics of Israel? Any chance to contain that? To me, it's obviously huge. And I would be celebrating this. But there are a few things here we need to keep in mind. So, Netanyahu has actually still been telling his supporters back in Israel that he has not taken annexation off the table. He claims it's only been paused because the deal is more informal than that, right? The deal is more laying the groundwork to build a relationship off of. It's not a commitment on Netanyahu's part. It's not really a commitment on anyone's part, exactly. But for the three parties involved, it's hella optics, right? Trump gets to say that he brokered a deal that could definitely lead to peace, could definitely lead to peace. But I feel uncomfortable calling this a great accomplishment when many of the parties involved, especially Netanyahu, are promising that the deal will not uphold, right? Now, you could say that Netanyahu is just doing that to throw meat at his base, but that's still cause of concern for me. There hasn't been, unfortunately, a fundamental shift in the region in terms of peace. But hey, if it were Barack Obama, maybe I wouldn't even be making these distinctions. But they're important distinctions, right? And in the context of Trump's record, this is strikingly diplomatic. He rarely takes an approach like this. He claims he's anti-war. He is not. He's not like de-escalated any wars, any conflicts. In some cases, he's escalated them. And his one previous attempt at peace and diplomacy that I can think of that was like a major project for him was attaining peace with North Korea. That did not work out. Spoiler alert, North Korea is still a very messy and complicated situation. But this is definitely enough to start that conversation of a peace prize, right? whether or not Democrats or liberals want to admit it, it's enough to at least put that out there, I suppose. Because Barack Obama got a Peace Prize maybe 3 months into his presidency, and he had done nothing yet. He was only there for 3 months. Technically, they told him, like, the official reason was for pursuing peaceful relationships around the world. If they could have said for not being George W. Bush, they would have. They would have said that. But, I mean, the Nobel Peace Prize, the decision-making process behind that has been flawed. Historically, Joseph Stalin was nominated for a Peace Prize 3 times. He might have won once. Wait, let me double check that. Does Joseph Stalin a Nobel Peace Prize? Yeah. He was just nominated. For helping to end World War II, which, if you're going to nominate Joseph Stalin for a Peace Prize, I guess that's the best reason. Yeah, but we're going to react to a video by... who else? Guess. Yes. Good morning, hashtag Mug Club. The Nobel Peace Prize is dumb. Now, it's funny, with the timing of this, it's almost like, somebody comes out and says Trump should get a Peace Prize. Then Crowder's response is the Nobel Peace Prize is dumb. So it's almost like, are you slamming Trump? Like, Trump getting the prize is dumb? But no, he's going to be making the argument that historically the Peace Prize has been dumb. It's been given to people like Obama, Al Gore, Jimmy Carter. So let's watch his expert commentary.
You know what I was really hoping is that this would resurrect your Obama got a Peace Prize rap video.
Yeah,
which,
I was hoping
that should come out of the archives.
Yeah. So Barack Obama got a Peace Prize, by the way, very shortly into his presidency. This was like about 3 or 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And a part of me feels as though, I mean, Barack Obama maybe even didn't want it. I want to believe that and maybe he's not that self-obsessed narcissist that we believe all politicians to be. Like, he woke up and they probably said, hey, listen, hey, Barack, you're going to get the Peace Prize. He said, oh, you're shitting me. Yeah.
I haven't done anything yet. You know, in public, he actually...
I mean... I doubt that he was, like, offended. He was probably just like, what? For what? Like, he probably was genuinely confused. Like, did I do something over, like, did something happen?
Was like, I don't deserve this.
Right.
Other people have really done something, and I've done nothing. Universally, people were like, he's only been here 200 days. Like, what's going on?
Well, he was given the Peace Prize for capturing the world's attention and giving its people hope for a better future. So I don't know if they can rescind it after 8 years and they see the economy.
Oh, it didn't work out.
I have no idea. Yeah. Just like the Grinch with the candy canes pouring out.
Economy? Right, because Barack Obama's economy was terrible, and Trump came around and completely changed everything. He completely reshaped the economy. Literally, Trump was bragging about the economy while we were still in Obama's fiscal year. Like, as soon as Trump came into office, he started bragging about the jobs, and GDP growth. We were still under Obama's economy. We were still under his fiscal year, under his fiscal plan. But it's like, hey, Obama makes these many jobs in his last 3 years. Trump makes less jobs in his first 3 years. And somebody like Steve is like, oh, well, Trump is already getting a head start on Obama. He, compare his first 3 years to Obama's last 3 years. But clearly it's about accelerating the economy. Trump literally slowed it down. We were on an upward trend, and under Trump we slowed down, actually. And real wages have been dropping. And by the way, what does the economy have to do with foreign policy, like diplomatic relationships? So he just took a swipe at Obama, perpetuating one of the most ridiculous conservative talking points. Like, if you think that the economy under Trump was great, like, Obama's economy was impressive in every regard. I would not personally say that Obama's economy was great, because I would attack it from the left. But everybody who is exalting Trump for his economy Like, Obama met all of the same criteria.
While the kids are sleeping. That's what they should do with Barack Obama's Peace Prize.
Exactly.
And by the way, peace is in the name. This is this is one of the things that I will tell you, okay? I don't know what it really is. All right? I don't really know what the Nobel Peace Prize is because Barack...
Did Steve just say that he doesn't know what peace is? Because I can believe that. It's nice to get some honesty here.
Obama, longest wartime in modern American history for presidents. They were bashing Donald Trump for being anti-military the other day. I don't think he's anti-military. I do think he's anti-war. He's probably the most anti-war president that I can think of in recent memory.
He's definitely anti-getting captured. Like, he's for sure anti-getting captured. This is great because we have a chance to dismantle some myths. Donald Trump has not de-escalated any military conflict. Like, any. At all. I mean, the dude literally assassinated a political leader of Iran. I believe against the advice of his cabinet, of his, advisors, the advice of his advisors. The Trump administration has been doing really great business with people like Raytheon, helping to supply Saudi Arabia with arms. I mean, again, I would agree that Barack Obama should be criticized, but to turn around and say Obama was pro-war and to say that Trump is anti-war, like, technically Obama had a longer period of wartime because he was president for longer. I guarantee you, if Trump got 2 terms, we would continue to be in war, like, under his terms. Like, Obama inherited a lot of wars. He started others, which I do not like, but Trump has not de-escalated any of them. So,
well, one of the statistics was that he is the first president who has not started in an international armed conflict in 39 years.
Wow.
And the last president who went that long won the Nobel Peace Prize, Jimmy Carter.
Right.
Well, very nice. Good for him. Well, he got it in the first freaking few months. Okay, so that stat doesn't matter, jerk.
Jimmy Carter got in the first few months?
No.
Are you drunk?
He said both. He was talking about Obama and comparing him to Carter.
Hey, Gerald.
And I was giving him a hard
time.
time.
Saying that Jimmy Carter was the only one who didn't start an international conflict. Now, the difference is...
Okay. So, we pointed out something good about Jimmy Carter. Stephen, by contractual obligation, will have to refute that somehow. We have to hate Jimmy Carter. Like, we just have to. You can see it in his eyes. Like, there are going to be less zeros at the end of his check if he lets praise for Jimmy Carter, like, slip by. Like, Jimmy Carter, the guy who did the Camp David Accords, who did a peace deal that did fundamentally create more peace in the Middle East. But, Stephen, take it away.
On principle with Donald Trump, Jimmy Carter was a pussy.
Well, he knew how to swing a hammer, but that was about it.
Yeah. Knew he loved his peanuts and his sweaters.
Nice.
But here's...
You never disappoint me, Steve. You really don't. You could have just let the Jimmy Carter thing slip by. It's like Donald Trump is good because he didn't start any new conflicts. So yes, Jimmy Carter did a good thing by not starting conflicts. But you have to contort yourself like a pretzel in order to figure out, okay, wait, no, one is good, one is bad. And you do so by saying that Donald Trump, Mr. Fire and Fury, a literal political assassin, Donald Trump, is anti-war on principle, and that Jimmy Carter of the Carter, what is his organization? Jimmy Carter, the Carter Center, who is still building houses as a 95-year-old man, and who has introduced numerous vaccines for diseases that have been plaguing African countries, South American countries. That man was just a pussy. That guy, he was dickless. He was dickless. Okay.
it doesn't mean anything to me because Nobel Peace Prize. Peace is in the name.
Yeah.
94 is given to Yasser Arafat. Now, for people going, wait, hold on a second. That name rings a bell. It should be ding, 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 ringing the terrorist bell. He was a terrorist. He was the founder of the Palestinian Liberation Organization.
Yeah.
He was the one who invented hijacking. That was his signature. That's all they do. If he applies for a loan, which is guaranteed to him because he's not black, according to Don Lemon, they just look at his hijacking.
He's the Thomas Edison hijacker.
They don't compare signatures. They go, how many people?
I mean, do not know why Arafat won, but it wasn't for hijacking. It was for an actual attempt at diplomatic relations. Yeah, why did he win the Nobel Peace Prize? Oh, yeah, there was a famous conference in 1994 between all these leaders. Yasser Arafat was one of them. He was one of the people to receive the award. Yasser Arafat definitely doesn't have the record you would associate with a Peace Prize winner, but they were awarding the conference. They were awarding the move. They weren't singling out Yasser Arafat. I guess they could have just awarded the other two guys and left him off of it, but I don't think that's how it works. Come on, why do I have so many tabs open? There we go.
People assumed room temperature on his last commercial flight. It's Yasser Arafat. Let's give him a Peace Prize. Yeah. They gave it to Yasser Arafat. They gave it to Al Gore for drawing attention to climate change. They said to this, they're giving it to him. Al Gore was in 2007. The quote was from Nobel Prize to disseminate greater knowledge about man-made climate change and to lay the foundations for measures that are needed to counteract such change. By the way, British High Court ruled that his film contained 9 significant errors that had to be corrected.
Nine.
So a British court, just because
Stephen hates liars, y'all. Cannot stand liars. Like that time that turned out the Bush administration lied about there being WMDs, and he completely changed his position on the Bush years and the Iraq War. Completely changed his position because Stephen, he has too much integrity. He cannot stand liars. Also, I mean, yeah, I guess An Inconvenient Truth is flawed as a factual documentary. Definitely still brought a lot of attention and discourse to the conversation of climate change before we realized just how imminent climate disaster was. But what, is that the only thing he did? It wasn't literally an award for An Inconvenient Truth. Like, Al Gore has been working nonstop on resolving climate issues and bringing climate change to the public's awareness since he won the presidency in 2000. He's been going at it a long time, Steve.
Because they're concerned about the bullcrap being taught to children, they have higher standards than whatever it is for the Nobel Peace Prize. We can all act here like we know. No, none of us really know exactly what gets you on the New York Times bestseller list. I'm just sort of pulling back the curtain here so you know we can talk about this as though we know. I don't know, and I don't really give it much stock. When it's terrorist, Jimmy Carter, Barack Obama after 3 months, Al Gore, they all got Peace Prizes. Not to mention this one, which I love. In 2012...
They should call it the Nobel Pussy Prize. Because Jimmy Carter was a pussy. Actually, Jimmy Carter wasn't even given a Nobel Peace Prize for the Camp David Accords or that. He was given his Peace Prize for his work with, again, his center, the Carter Center, which has done amazing work throughout the world in a lot of impoverished countries. Like, let's say whatever we want about Jimmy Carter's presidency, even he will admit that he was a far better post-president than a president. I know I'm simping for Jimmy Carter, y'all, but come on, man. Who shouldn't like Jimmy Carter? Unless you dislike the idea of peace, like vaccines and houses, you shouldn't shit on Jimmy Carter.
It was given to the European Union. No specific individual, just the general precept of the European
We'll just take that
Union
there, an award.
Let's be honest, this was pre-Brexit, folks.
This is like they're all sitting around and they're like, man, do I have something due in like 10 minutes? Oh, crap, we got to designate
Who are we going to give it to?
EU.
No, they looked around and said...
Too late. Too late, names in. Names in.
They looked around and said, well, we've been doing a pretty good job, and we need a little bit more recognition.
Look at us,
How about we recognize us?
Who do you notify with the EU, too? Like, I don't know.
Isn't there a council? I mean, the EU is... It's a body made up of, like representatives, right, or officials. Like, there's a council on the EU. I imagine it was given to the High Council or whatever you can still find it dumb, I guess, but I mean, it is an organization that has done things. It's not like literally giving the award to the continent of Europe. Hold on, guys.
I'm late. He's eating like a payday. EU. Who, me? Yeah, you.
Look, if
Can somebody tell me why there are like 5 guys in the studio with Crowder? Like, why are we constantly jumping around 5 voices here? Is it so we have people to actually laugh at Steve's jokes? Is it people to help him make jokes because he's kind of struggling? EU? Who, me? Yeah, you. But with comedic chops like that, the only way that Steven Crowder's comedy career could have failed was because of a liberal bias in the entertainment industry. That's why he only performs his stand-up at like Tea Party events and conservative panels.
Obama had done what Trump has done with this peace deal with Israel and the UAE, he would have gotten a second Peace Prize. This would be plastered all over the media, right? This is a huge deal that history books later on will look back and go, yeah, that's kind of a big deal, you know, that Trump has done this. And you're seeing almost no coverage of it at all.
And by the way, I think this is a great contrast to the fact that...
Oh, you're seeing coverage of it. I just read a story about it in the New York Times. Okay, again, is it a great first step? Yes. To say that there has been a fundamental change that will get Trump a place in the history books, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Yes, we've normalized relationships, but when you have Netanyahu saying that he still plans to annex the West Bank, I think we have to at least be cautious here. Let's not jump the gun, guys. I know you guys are really sensible and reasonable. Let's not jump the gun. Also, are we actually ignoring the things that Obama did do for international peace, like that peace deal with Iran that Trump literally ripped up, that Trump completely did away with? Actually, funny thing, Trump, after this whole deal was announced, he said, next I'm going to do Iran. If I get elected again, I will get an Iran peace deal in 30 days. We had an Iran peace deal. We had one. You got rid of it. What the? Okay. But no. Oh. When Republicans pursue peace, they're noble and principled. When Democrats do it, they're pussies. Obama, I'm sure, was a pussy for getting Iran to abandon its nuclear program. Just like Jimmy Carter.
That someone can be a bombastic prick, which Donald Trump is, let's be honest.
Agreed.
But he's our bombastic prick sometimes. And get things done and avoid armed conflict and actually broker peace deals. And then someone can be, like MSNBC, lean forward, bend over Barack Obama, go out there and act like he wants to be peaceful. Everyone just takes advantage of him.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the option because no one really believes that he's going to do anything.
Well, and that's kind of like the Democrats. They didn't like Reagan because he was standing up to the Soviet Union. He was pushing too hard, leading us into war. He was definitely one of these war hawks, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they only respected power. It turns out
Nary
it
a
worked.
single person found a more peaceful life due to that wall being torn down.
It's true.
It's remarkable. People who want peace, but they do so at the expense of millions of other people not being able.
Man, Reagan was such a good guy, dude. Just think of all the peace he brought to Latin America, to Nicaragua, dude. Such a great guy. Of course, we're also going to bite the bullet here about Reagan ending the Cold War. Technically, it ended under Bush. I think if any one person deserves credit for the Berlin Wall coming down, it would be Bush. It happened under Bush. George H.W. Bush. Kind of silly to reduce the fall of the Soviet Union to one person, right? There were other people making that happen at the time within Russia. But I mean, the person who actually deserves credit for ending the Soviet Union was Gorbachev. Oh, and he has a Peace Prize, too.
to live peacefully. That's why I wouldn't fault Donald Trump if there's a war, if there's a 9/11 that happens under his watch. Obviously, something needs to be done about it. But he is a man who has been known. He's spoken out against the Iraq War. Yeah. He has a more consistent record of being anti-war before he was. And listen, we're lucky in this sense that with Barack Obama, we don't even know how he got an Occidental. Okay, I assume he probably went, you need me to quota? Listen, get on in here, Barack. That name's gonna look good when we send this for a federal grant. Donald Trump, we know everything that he believed before he was president.
You think that black names are an advantage? I mean, black names. African names are an advantage in society? Because a lot of studies show that it's harder to get a job with a name like Barack Obama compared to Barry Obama. Barry O'Reilly. I don't know. Oh, he killed Osama bin Laden. I totally forgot that. Pussy Obama killed Osama bin Laden. They were conservatives were so mad when that happened, dude. They just they were just foaming at the mouth like, it's not like he literally killed Osama bin Laden. Like, he didn't literally pull the trigger. No, but I mean, he actually did arrange a strategy that pursued and ultimately killed Osama bin Laden. Bush was a little too busy destabilizing an entire region to get Osama. He was a little distracted. You can't expect Bush to balance those two things. Pursuing the man who actually attacked us versus an offensive war created on false premises. These are two that you have to choose one or the other.
Because he was a reality TV host, and he can never shut up. Barack Obama, we know nothing. Yeah. We know nothing about where he was raised. He mostly voted president as a junior senator, effectively a state senator. This was a guy, we don't have his college records. We don't know how he got into these colleges. All we know that was, according to him, he was doing cocaine with Bill Ayers, a convicted domestic terrorist. And with Donald Trump, you go, what did he think about war 12 years ago?
What? I mean, Obama was famously against the Iraq War. Like, he was very outspoken about that. That's what helped him win the primary against Hillary Clinton, was that he could say that he was against the Iraq War at the time, whereas she voted for it. So, I mean, when it comes to important shit, we know what Obama said and thought. He's been, I'm not going to say consistent, but if we're comparing records here, Donald Trump has gone from being a lifelong Democrat, lifelong pro-choice, to now a conservative, pro-life Republican president. What consistency are you talking about? The fact that he was against the Iraq War? I mean, a lot of people were against the Iraq War. He's not inherently against military conflicts.
Ago. Oh, let me look through this Esquire interview where he talks about how he doesn't like shaking hands with people who are poor, and then he says, I don't like war, it's for pussies. That's what he thought 8 years ago. There's no guesswork.
He's an open book.
And he tends not to draw red lines and then walk away from them either. He draws a red line and then he executes on it. He's like, oh, okay, you guys are going to do this? Fine. This is what I said I was going to do. Here we go.
I did it.
For crying out loud, he gets mad and calls a reporter semi-retarded. What do you think's going to happen when he counts to 3 with Syria?
When you look at the history of what's happening in the Middle East, considering what's been done for a man who's been labeled the most divisive, racist, anti-foreign, xenophobic president, and yet this is what he's brokering?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it breaks the narrative.
It's huge. And every single person on the left has every opportunity they've taken.
Hey, this is not exactly break the narrative here. I don't think this peace plan is enough to completely whitewash his record of xenophobia. It's not enough to whitewash the Muslim ban. Actually, and this is another controversial aspect. You know who was left out of the negotiating table? Palestine. And Palestinian officials are a little peeved about it. And it's not like Trump is actually de-escalating conflict with the West Bank thing, if Netanyahu can stick to it, could possibly lead to this. But the broader picture that there is a coalition forming around Israel, while Palestine is completely left out of it, out of the negotiation process. Is that going to lead to an overall more peaceful relationship between Israel and Palestine? No. It's a net benefit for Israel, right?
Like, this is going to start World War III. This is going to push Iran to the brink. Right now, there's just no need for this. What happened? Did anybody see World War III?
weird place to cut off. I've literally seen no publication saying this will lead to World War III. The most critical these stories get, right, is that, well, it doesn't fundamentally change diplomatic relations around the Middle East, in the Middle East. And actually, apparently, Trump is taking a lot of credit when these relationships were already starting to form beforehand. There was cooperation between Israel and the United Arab Emirate. Jimmy Carter can rest well at night now, knowing he's not the worst president ever. Is this person saying Trump or Obama is the worst president? Yeah, dude. Jimmy Carter was a good guy. Judge me by my comment section. Okay. Well, I'm surprised that Donald Trump didn't win a Peace Prize for tear gassing peaceful protesters outside the White House. Yeah, so perfect example of how this accomplishment by Trump is being overhyped. It's being taken out of proportion. If Obama, let's put it this way, had gotten this peace deal and everybody were showering him with praise, Steven Crowder would be saying the exact things I'm saying. It didn't fundamentally change things. He's taking credit for something that he didn't start, right? I mean, when the Iran deal came around, conservatives were not like, actually, you know what, Obama, got to give you props, man. No, they were like, oh my God, you're working with Iran, you're cooperating with Iran. Like, they lost their shit over it. Haven't even watched the video and already liked it. Okay, that sums up Steven Crowder's fan base perfectly. They don't even have to watch the video before they like it and agree with it. Nice. Okay, guys. Anyways, the thing in the Middle East is a very complicated subject. So when I say that, we need to be cautious, I'm not saying that Trump doesn't deserve credit. I'm also not saying that whitewashes his record and secures him a place as our most peaceful president in recent memory. So please check out the story yourself. Make sure that you're reading from a non-partisan organization. Please don't turn to Steven Crowder for your news. Or me for that matter, honestly, because obviously I'm covering these things with a left-wing viewpoint. I try to be objective when I can, but it's important that we do go to the journalists first, the reporters first, the credible people first, and then we can start to debate about what these events really mean. But thanks again for watching, and